In a world where animals fight each other to the death using explosives, and sometimes they use various objects to slap each other in the face, only one animal will survive it to the end and claim the crown. Or everyone could also just die, but we'll assume that at least one animal wins, okay? Will I be the final animal standing within this chaos? The likelihood is not zero, but there's only one way to find that out. And we're in game! Unfortunately, this is not live commentary Vaza, because apparently when you try to play video games while also commentating, it doesn't turn out very well because things add up very quickly. When you're trying to play well, like me, especially when you're trying to play well, it turns out you have a lot more difficulties trying to play well when you're just trying to have fun voice commentary. So as a result, I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and not do live voice commentary because that's just not gonna end up well. Also, when I do live voice commentary, that just adds more stuff to do because suddenly I not only have to record the game, but I also have to record myself and my voice, and then I start getting frame droppages in video games. And frame drops are not the greatest because frame drops, they are going to ruin you. When you don't have the frames, you're going to start playing a lot worse than what you normally would be. Which is why I decided that, you know what, maybe I should try to go ahead and not torture myself through playing live while doing live commentary and all that chat. So I decided that, you know what, I'll just do my normal thing that I normally do. Oh yeah, there's a sniper there. So instead I'm just going to do post commentary and maybe perhaps comment on why I'm doing certain decisions or not, and maybe you can learn something new. So as I wrote in the video, there's a sniper there just casually trying to snipe. I do not like snipers, as you may have gathered, so I just go ahead and try to get him with line drawing. Line drawing is fun. The most fun styles in Bombergrounds are styles that don't include sniping. If I had to stare through an entire video where it's just some guy sniping and winning every game, I would probably fall asleep. Nobody cares. So instead, I try to do the fun styles, which is pattern drawing. It may not get me as many wins, but it's a lot more fun. I also took a suggestion from some guy that said, you know what, if some guy does sniping, just go ahead and ruin them by kicking random bombs in random directions, or kicking their bombs in their direction. So that way they can't, do sniping. Because sniping is pretty overpowered. With sniping in this game, you can just kind of get people very easily. You can choose when you kick the bomb, and then you can make a decision on how you want to go ahead and do the rest of the things that you want to do. It's not very great. It's not very fun. This game ended up in not my victory, but it was a good game anyway, so I included it. But yeah, Bombergrounds is a game where sniping is really powerful. But I don't like sniping, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. And as a result, I try to find ways to win without using sniping, and I've found some very interesting ways to do those things. It's a strategy that I accumulated from my experience in another game called Bomb Tag, which you may know of. I've only won like more than half of the tournaments in that game, so you may have heard of me in that game. And if you haven't, where have you lived? I guess I shouldn't judge it too hard. A lot of people watch me play Bombergrounds more than they watch me play other games, so maybe I should expect that. But yeah, today I just wanted to talk about talk about Bomberman games in general. So how I even got into Bombergrounds, I got into Bomb Tag one random day for some random reason. Some guy named Proton John, who I used to follow once on the YouTubes, played Super Mario World ROM hacks, and I was like, man, this guy is pretty cool. I should watch him play video games. But then he turned into a streamer and I no longer really watch him, but he still exists, so that's great. But then one day he decided to stream a game of Bomb Tag, and then I found out that the game is on Steam and the game is free, so I was like, man, Bomberman games. I think I'm pretty good at arcade games like Tetris and such. Press F to pay respects to Tetris friends. You don't realize how good a site is until it's finally gone. It is very unfortunate, but that's just how it is. It's, yeah. But this video is not about Tetris friends, it's about Bomberman games. The first Bomberman game that I ever played was actually Bomberman for the NES. The very original NES from the Nintendo Entertainment System. That was certainly a game that I played once. It had things going on inside of it. I gave all sorts of weird names to the characters in there. There were all sorts of wall hackers that just went through walls, some faster, some slower. It was a great time. I actually think I replayed that game on not NES but the N64. Because I didn't have the NES, or if I did have it, it was probably some faker that pretended to be an NES, but it wasn't an NES. But yeah, after that I moved on to Bomb Tag. I wasn't very good at Bomb Tag at first. I remember some guy wearing a pirate hat just playing the game and he absolutely destroyed me, but eventually I started getting some victories and then I was like, man, I wanna beat this guy. Oh hey, there's a guy in the game right now that's asking if I am the real Vaza. Apparently there's people in this game that pretend to be Vaza. Some guy named Vaza 2 and so on and so forth. So, you know you're popular when people are trying to impersonate you. I don't mind it too much, but don't try to impersonate me too hard, okay? Please. Thanks. But, yeah, there are other Bomberman type games as well. I've never played the N64 version. I think it's called Bomberman 64 or something. I know the game exists, but never particularly cared about it. Or never played it at least. I've seen some gameplay. I don't think that's quite the type of game that I want to play though. It's mostly just a campaign game, I think. I know there's supposed to be some game that's like supposed to be an arcade version like of what was it again? Like not some arcade Bomberman game. I know lots of people from that game, whatever the name of the game was, converted over to Bomb Tag after nothing. They didn't convert over, they just saw another Bomberman game. They were like, oh man, another Bomberman game, I wanna try this game. And then they tried the game. It was great. But there's also one more Bomberman game that actually two more that I've played. One of them is a Flash game named Playing with Fire, that's from like some website like addictinggames.com. I remember playing it once. And this game ended in a draw because I moved into a spot that wasn't safe and he wasn't safe either, so I could have taken that win, but I didn't, so that's just that. And here I survived without losing my shield. That was absolutely fantastic. A great play by me. There's one more game though that I have played that's called Blast Zone Tournament. That game though, compared to Bomb Tag and this game, that game, it holds so much potential and yet it's just so bad. It's just so bad. Like it looks great, the music is great, the presentation is fantastic, the character customization is really great, and yet the gameplay is so just miserable. It's horrible. The gameplay is like actually optional. It's that bad. It's got a campaign version, which the campaign is actually pretty decent. It's got enemies and such, the enemies do things, and that's really fine, but man, just everything about that is just, it's so painstakingly slow. There's zero movement that you can do in that game. If you don't try to play it, okay? Just don't try it. Oh, and in this game we've got a stalker, some level 100 guy named something, and then they just follow me throughout the entire game, putting on emotions. I got scared, so I just ran away. Apparently that guy really wants to be in the video, so I guess he got his wish, but also he died, so it's a double-edged sword, I guess. And this is the final 1v1 of the game. It ends in a little bomb throwing pattern thing. And this is the bomb throwing pattern. And I got him, that was really nice. I enjoyed the pattern, but that's also the end of the video. This is my first non-stop post-commentary video that I've done, so I probably blathered on for way too long, going in circles, having nonsense going on, so I'm sorry about that in advance. I'll try to get better one day. But for the time being, that's all I've got, so that's the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, press the like button, consider subscribing, and of course, I'll see you next time. In the next video, I'll probably talk more about different arcade games, so until then, take care everyone.